Thank you, Mandeep, and thank you for your leadership and for the leadership of each of you on the panel. It is a great honor to be here with each of you and all of our distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the audience. We are all, of course, deeply saddened by the death suffered on MH17. I would hope that we can each resolve that whether their lives were ended by the violence of this week or by the scythe of this terrible illness over so many decades, that we can ensure their deaths shall not have been in vain. Their passion must now fire our persistence. Their dreams must embolden our dedication to end this scourge once and for all. Their love must always be our light, a light that darkness, evil, or disease cannot ever extinguish. I am very pleased to be here for this incredibly timely discussion. The world has reached a critical moment in the fight against HIV and AIDS, and we are now on the brink of an AIDS-free generation. But reaching that goal will depend on all of us working together and being able to get the preventative care and treatment that everyone needs. Since 2003, the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief has been working to control the AIDS epidemic by, among activities that include providing HIV testing and counseling and life-saving antiretroviral treatment for millions of men, women, and children. Last year, we were able to announce the millionth HIV-negative baby born to an HIV-positive mother as a result of these programs. And although the programs we support in Africa and those in the Asia-Pacific tend to have different areas of focus, they have one thing in common: getting the services to those who need them most. Now, unfortunately, the criminalization of certain at-risk populations and those who are HIV positive and the stigma associated with HIV are the very things that will prevent us from eliminating this disease entirely. We know that criminalization is bad health policy. It is bad public policy. It doesn't work to prevent the spread of disease, and in fact, it does just the opposite. Now, while the United States still has laws that criminalize HIV status, as one of our panelists, Nick, can tell you from very painful experience, we are working to become better, to do better, and to remedy our mistakes. I am very pleased that Iowa State Senator Matt McCoy has been able to join us here at the conference. He recently led a bipartisan effort to update and modernize the draconian Iowa HIV criminal transmission law, one of the United States' harshest, that brought Nick so much pain in his life. Criminalization laws undermine public health approaches that we need to fight this disease and limit its spread. These laws don't reflect current scientific knowledge. They undermine our ability to get people into screening and treatment. And more fundamentally, these laws wrongly stigmatize and marginalize those living with HIV and AIDS. We believe that one of the most productive public policy actions that we can take is removing outdated criminalization laws from the books. The President, in his National HIV/AIDS Strategy, has called for the review and reform of all HIV criminalization laws across our country. This is a very good step, but we still need to do more, both at home and abroad. Around the world, sadly, new HIV infections, my next point is sadly. This is good news. New HIV infections are down almost a third in the past decade. Deaths are down 30% since their peak in 2005, and we need to keep those trends continuing. But the services that we and our partners provide are useless if people are afraid to access them or worry that they might face job loss, ostracism, or imprisonment for seeking treatment. We cannot continue to reduce new infections if those who are most at risk do not get screened, are not educated, or treated. In both Australia, and this is the sadly, in both Australia and the United States, new HIV infections are on the rise, particularly among young men. Those of us who remember the funerals of the 80s and 90s have no wish to repeat that era. It falls to us to ensure that the next generation does not repeat these mistakes. And that means educating our young people about prevention and transmission. It means sharing best practices. It means supporting research that will lead to prevention and a cure. It means that all countries must lift travel, residence, and immigration restrictions on people living with HIV. It means that all countries must bolster their commitments to fighting HIV and AIDS through organizations like the Global Fund. And most of all, it means that we need to make sure that being HIV positive or being a member of our LGBT community is not a crime. The global fight against HIV and AIDS will not be won by relegating segments of the population to the shadows. I very much look forward to the panel discussion today and to the questions and comments from the audience. Thank you very much.